How you doing, guys? My name is Brian Moore. I'm a Bellator bantamweight fighter. I'm a gym owner and an online coach also. What's the achievement you are most proud of in life? My two daughters, without a shadow of a doubt, they're my everything. Simple as that, and nothing comes close. Nothing comes close. Biggest regret in your career so far? You could sit here and talk all day about the regrets, but I'm very happy where I am right now. So if I had changed one thing, well, then maybe I wouldn't be sitting here. So I'm pretty happy. What has been the biggest disappointment in your career so far, and how did you overcome it? It probably was the time I broke my hands against Noad Lahat. I broke the two of them within 6 minutes, and the fight up to then had been going so well. I had dropped them 3 times. I felt really good in there, but it didn't go my way as a result of that. But I overcame it by getting the necessary surgery, doing the necessary rehab, putting in a solid camp, and getting a good win. So yeah, things happen, shit happens. We get on with it. What was the best advice you have ever received? Well, I've had a number of excellent coaches that have given me a lot of good advice, but my dad, when I was very young, told me to never give up, and that has served me well. Who has been the biggest inspiration in your life and why? Well, I've taken a lot of inspiration from people both past and present, but the people who inspire me the most are my three girls, because every single thing that I do is for the three of them. If you could go back and meet your younger self, what advice would you give them? I would tell myself a week ago during the pandemic not to cut your own hair. My fringe is ridiculous. What are your plans for the next 12, 24 months? I simplified this about a year ago, and that's to put in the best effort I can into camp and to win every fight I can until they cannot deny me a title shot. And it's just that simple, because you might plan to have 2 to 4 fights a year, and that might not always come to fruition, but you can control what's in front of you, and you can control what you're doing in training camp. And then when you get in there to fight, you can only rely on yourself. So that's very simple, but it's what I'm focused on every single fight. I'm going to try my best in camp, and then I'm going to try my best in there and get those wins, rack up enough of them, and they can't ignore me. Who's the most famous person that follows you on social media? That would be the notorious Conor McGregor. The funniest story or moment in your career so far? There's been a fucking lot of them. One that springs to mind is I fought on a show called Celtic Gladiator years ago, and I fought this top 10 Polish lightweight. I moved up a weight class to fight him. We had a 3-round war where I beat him by decision, and but I was pretty nervous before the fight, like I am with most of my fights. And just as I was about to make the walkout, the two promoters that were running the event came up and tried to convince me to go on the back of a Harley Davidson on my way out to the cage. I said, not a fucking hope. And they just would not let this go. I said, I'm not holding some biker as he brings me out to the cage. So they were saying, why don't you hold the handles at the back? And I was like, no, I'm not getting on the back of this bike. They tried to convince me to stand on the Harley and hold the guy's shoulders. And I was like, just get away from me. But moments later, as I made the walk out, my opponent came back out holding the same biker. So that's probably what gave me the upper hand in that fight. But it was a circus back then. What advice or tips can you give for younger people in your profession to stay busy while they are isolating? There's loads and loads you can be working on and improving upon. You can be working on your fitness right now. You can be working on your mobility, your flexibility. You can be even working on your striking. Shadowboxing has been done since the dawn of boxing by world champions. So there's no reason why you can't be doing it. Just don't shadowbox aimlessly. Have a purpose in your mind. And one of the biggest tips I'd give to people is to record your shadowboxing and then break it down, assess it, and improve upon it again. What are you doing to keep yourself occupied and at the top of your game while you are in isolation? I've said it, and I'm not joking when I say it. Isolation is not that new to me. I kind of live in the middle of nowhere as it is, and I do a lot of the training. Probably about 50% of my training is done by myself. I do all my own strength and conditioning. I do a lot of my own striking. So in that sense, you know, it's just upping that part of it. Of course, I miss going up to Dublin and in SBG Ireland 3 or 4 times a week. I really miss